Hello, I'm Food Daniel. Here are my predictions for Round 2 of the 2017 WFA Playoffs, games to be played on June 17th. Start with Division 3. Cincinnati Sizzle at the Orlando Anarchy. I expect Orlando to win this game. It's an awful long journey from Cincinnati to Orlando. And while Cincinnati had good success this year, playing a schedule entirely against Division 3 teams, Orlando had success playing against some Division 1 and Division 2 teams. They actually won one of their Division 2 games. So I expect Orlando to win. Maine Mayhem at the Toledo Reign. For the same reasons, I expect Toledo to win. It's a long journey from Maine to Toledo. And Toledo did play against some Division 1 and 2 opponents, while Maine had only one game against a Division 2 opponent, and it didn't go very well for them. Now, granted, Toledo didn't do too well against the Division 2 opponents either, but they did play against them. So that 4-4 record that Toledo sports is misleading. And again, the long road trip that I expect will deplete Maine's roster a little bit. I expect Toledo to win. Okay, in the West, Austin Outlaws at the Arkansas Wildcats. They played each other on April 29th, and Arkansas won 26-0. And that was in Austin. That was a road game for Arkansas. It's not that long of a drive from Austin to Arkansas. Don't know how long, a few hours, but I expect Arkansas to win. Now, these two teams, I believe, do have some common opponents. Plenty of common opponents, actually. With Austin, having to play against Dallas Elite twice, though. Arkansas only had 2 Division I games, both against the Arlington Impact. They lost both games by a combined score of 64-20, which is better than you'd expect when a Division I team meets a Division III team. So yes, indeed, I expect Arkansas to win this game. I am glad to see Austin doing well, though, because I know they had a rough couple years. And the same goes for the Maine Mayhem, too. All those years of misery as the Southern Maine Rebels and then the Maine Rebels. Well, and the Cincinnati Sizzle as well. I mean, they had the devil's own day of it for several years. And the Orlando Anarchy, a couple seasons with no wins and then having a couple of their members die. So this is a good year for Division III teams to, get to the promised land of the postseason. Okay, and the 4th Division III game, the Rocky Mountain Thundercats, the Southern Oregon Lady Renegades. I've seen the Lady Renegades play this year. I have not seen the Rocky Mountain Thundercats, but I have seen 2 of the teams that they played twice each this year, the Utah Blitz and La Muerta de las Cruces. Against the Blitz, they split the season series, 1-1. Both games were decided by a touchdown. One of them went to overtime. Against Las Cruces, they won one of the games by 2 touchdowns and the other by 30 points. So, they stalemated against the Blitz, and they won pretty solidly against La Muerta. I'm trying to imagine the Southern Oregon Lady Renegades playing against the Utah Blitz or La Muerta de las Cruces. I think Lady Renegades would have no problem winning. So for that reason, I expect the Renegades to win this game. Lady Gades to win this game. That plus the fact that, again, it's a long journey from Denver to Medford, Oregon. So I expect the Thundercats to be playing with a small roster. I expect the Southern Oregon Lady Gades to win. Okay, Tier 2. Madison Blaze against the St. Louis Slam. I said at the start of the year, I expect the Slam to run the table and repeat as Tier 2 Division 2 champions. That certainty hasn't diminished one drop. I fully expect the Slam to win this game and the next 2 games as well. Especially because they beat the Blaze in Week 2 55-0. I expect the Slam will win and keep winning. The Sin City Trojans at the Mile High Blaze. Hard to get a real handle on what Sin City is capable of because 4 of their games were against Division 1 teams and 4 of them were against Division 3 teams. You know, they splatter the Division 3 teams and get splattered by the Division 1 teams. But last week, they played, their first Division 2 game of the year, the first round playoff game, hosting the Everett Rain, and they defeated the Everett Rain 13-0. That surprised me greatly that they were only able to score 2 touchdowns against the Everett Rain. As for the Mile High Blaze, they obliterated everybody, but everybody was Division 3. Oh. What about they played the Minnesota Machine? Yeah, the Minnesota Machine are Division 3 too. Okay. Yes, the Mile High Blaze were a Division 2 team that played entirely against Division 3 teams. So their perfect season might not be too representative. Still, if the Trojans can only score 2 touchdowns against the Everett Rain at home, I don't see them traveling to Denver and coming away with a win. I don't. So, as odd as it feels for me to predict Sin City not to win, I expect the Mile High Blaze to win this game. Could be wrong. Wouldn't mind being wrong. I got plenty of friends on Sin City. If they do prove me wrong, boy, they're going to let me have it. Okay. In the Eastern Conference Division 2. Where am I now? I lost my place. New York Sharks, the Montreal Blitz. Hey, good to see these 2 teams matching up. They come over to the league this year from the IWFL. Reunited and it feels so good. Well, in Week 3, the Blitz beat the Sharks 32-8. And then on June 3rd, the Blitz beat the Sharks 48-21. Okay, no reason to expect the Blitz not to win this game. Still, good to see the Sharks and the Blitz around. Good to see them both in the playoffs. And I know when they both joined, there was some question of, is Tier 2 the right place for them? It looks like it. It looks like Division 2 is right about where they should be. High up in Division 2 because here they are in the playoffs. Good stuff. Okay, and the 4th Division 2 game, Tampa Bay Inferno at the Carolina Phoenix. Hey, well, the Inferno, defending Division 2 Eastern Conference champions, they had a perfect season this year, playing a nice mix of Division 1, 2, and 3 games. While the Carolina Phoenix, they had themselves a nice 6-2 season, again playing a nice mix of Division 1, 2, and 3 teams. And they had that eye-popping victory over the Division 1 Atlanta Phoenix on May 6th. Now the Phoenix returned the favor 3 weeks later, but still, Carolina's proven they can beat a Division 1 team. Hard to say what's going to happen. This is a hard one. Did Tampa Bay play Atlanta this year? Did Tampa Bay play Atlanta this year? No, they did not. Okay, there's no common opponents. Very hard to say. Tampa Bay to Carolina. That is a long journey, but it's not a... How far is it? It's not like a 1,000-mile journey. A journey enough to force some ladies to stay home? Maybe, I don't know. I'm going to predict Tampa Bay to win this. I could be wrong, though. I'm going to predict Tampa Bay to win. I could be wrong. This game could be anywhere. This could be a blowout by either team. I'm going purely on gut. Purely on gut, I'm predicting Tampa Bay. That's what I love about the postseason. Again, genuine suspense. Genuine, honest to God, I don't know what's going to happen. Suspense. Okay. Division 1. Eastern Conference. DC Divas, the Boston Renegades. Well, Boston's already beaten the Divas twice this year. On April 22nd, they won 26-22, and on May 6th, they won by 26 to an eye-popping 0. Oh, one thing I'm pretty sure of, Divas aren't going to get shut out. But I'm only slightly less certain that Boston's going to win. I do expect Boston to win. But I think it's going to be far closer to that 26-22 score than that 26-0 score. And it won't be too surprising if I'm wrong and DC wins. But I expect Boston to win. I'm looking at the scores of the Boston games through the season. Wow, they had close games. Look at that. Beat the Divas 26-22, beat the Passion 33-28, beat the Force 25-24, beat the Phantoms 27-24. Cardiac Kids. Good stuff. Pittsburgh Passion at the Chicago Force. I said on opening day, I expect the Chicago Force to be league champions. My certainty of that has diminished by a couple drops because of that 25-24 loss to Boston, but only by a couple drops. I still expect Chicago to be league champs. I expect Chicago to win this game. It won't be a blowout. I'll predict Chicago to win by between 10 and 20 points. Pittsburgh will not embarrass themselves. Pittsburgh will play well. But I've said all along, I expect Chicago to be league champs, and I still believe it. And in the West, Minnesota Vixen at Dallas Elite. Dallas has got to be loving this. You know, for all of Dallas's blowout victories, they spend all season hearing, but who have they played? They've got to be so sick of that. They've been wanting to play teams like this. On Saturday, they'll get their wish. And I think they're going to make good on it. I think Dallas is going to win this game. Again, awful long journey for Minnesota. From Minneapolis to Dallas. I expect Dallas to win this game. It ain't going to be, a 40-point blowout. But I can see it being around 20 to 25 points. I expect Dallas to win. I am one of those fans, though, who does like to see different teams get to the postseason or get to the finals every year. So I wouldn't mind being wrong. I mean, let's face it, anybody who roots for the underdog would love to see the Minnesota Vixen win this game. But, I can imagine what Dallas is feeling. They're sick of hearing, but who have they played? I expect Dallas to win. And finally, the game I'll be attending and the game I'll be doing the PA announcing at. San Diego Surge, the Central Cal War Angels. Well, the War Angels have already beaten the Surge twice this year. Come on. There we go. Yes, beat them on April 29th, 44-7. And beat them on May 20, 34-12. Okay. So 2 very convincing wins over the San Diego Surge. No reason to expect the War Angels won't win it again. That feels so unusual to be predicting the Surge not to win. But there you go. And that completes my predictions for round 2 of the WFA playoffs. Thank you.